Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy III for the Nintendo Famicom system. Last episode we woke up inside Amur and we were told that we need to get some levitating shoes from the witch Delilah in the sewers beneath. But before we do that, I want to just show off a little bit of the land around Amur and why we can't really do anything else while in this town village. We'll also see some new enemies around here. So point them all out, and I'll be pointing out a whole bunch of chocobo forests. So there's a bunch of chocobo forests in the overworld. But even them, they're not going to help us explore much of the world. So, yeah, the world's basically like two really big continents and then a few small islands in between. So we're on the easternmost continent. So until we get our ship, we won't be able to travel to the other continents. And there's some barriers that are preventing us from going everywhere on this continent. So let's try to get into an encounter here before we hit that chocobo forest. Here we go. We have another two enemies here. Magicians in the back and Black Flan in the front. Luckily the Black Flan isn't like the Black Flan in Final Fantasy II. They're the ones around Mysidia. Those ones that can only really hurt by fire. These flans we can actually hurt with our physical attacks. So, be able to deal damage because that's good because Tupelo, our black mage, is currently he's currently paralyzed. So we're not, unless we use one of those items that we have. Yep, we're just gonna rely on our physical attacks. Like I said, that'll be enough to get us through. So, speaking of items, quite a few enemies in this area drop those attacking items. Alright, so there goes that enemy. And now let's go into the chocobo forest. Let's grab a chocobo and start running around. So immediately to the north here, that's where the water temple and the cave of tides is. We don't need to go back there at all. I will eventually be using the water crystal jobs, but still got to get usage out of these fire crystal jobs, including using the thief. That'll be used very shortly. We'll keep heading up this way. We got a big, huge desert up here. There's a maze over there, but you need a certain type of airship to go through that maze. And over here, we have these statues. You don't want to go up and through those statues, because I'm going to make a quick save here to show what happens. But those Fang items that we've been picking up, we got the water and the wind Fang, they're going to be eventually used to destroy these statues. We've got to get 4 of the Fangs, and there's 4 pairs of statues. But if we try to pass them right now, yeah, you get a game over. Basically, the statues basically like shoot big lasers. They're like, think of like the turbo blaster lasers on in Star Wars and the Death Star. So yeah, not gonna go that way. And there's another chocobo forest here, right there in the center. And I shouldn't have dropped this stuff off at the chocobo forest. I'll eventually have to do it later because I want to show off the what happens, what's blocking our way to the south. We were told there's that endless bog. Let's see if we can cross the endless bog without those levitating shoes. Of course, the things we're going to throw in here are those, whatchamacallit, the elixirs. The Medusa arrows will come in handy in this one future cave, so we're not going to keep them in our inventory right now. We have more than enough arrows to get us through, so let's grab another chocobo, and we'll head to this, down to the south to see that endless bog. And even though the chocobo can cross things that we can't, such as the rivers, yeah, we have the canoe, but, you know, you might think, well, maybe the chocobo can get across the bog. Well, unfortunately, it can't. So there's that endless bog right there. There's also a chocobo forest there, but if you try to cross the endless bog even on a chocobo, well, you're going down into the muck. You're getting another game over, so we'll start back up by those statues there, and then we'll do some more exploration and get the rest of the enemies, and then go make progress in the sewers. Let's of course give this chocobo back the stuff that we did the last, like a few minutes ago. Alright, once again, just store the elixirs. They're way too valuable to use right now, and you basically need them for the final dungeon. The final dungeon is like a big long trek through, like, a big two-part dungeon, kind of like how Final Fantasy II. You have to go through the Jade Passage and then the Castle Pandemonium. This one you have to go through the that crystal tower that we saw when the world was all flooded. And yes, it's very tall, it has a lot of floors. That's why we're sticking out of the water. And then the Dark World. There's a lot of bosses and tough monsters, so it's the end game. Speaking of monsters, we got a few more that we want to hunt around here. All the monsters in this section of the overworld are all the same. So once we clear them out here on our bestiary, we don't have to worry about any more traveling around this area. There'll be some new monsters up by the crystal tower up there. That's where the statues are guarding. But this area here, where the desert was, and all the way down to the endless bog, all the same monsters. There's also some monsters in the river, but we'll grab them later. So I didn't want to spend all this episode monster hunting, because I wanted to make some progress in the story. The dungeons are kind of short in this game, except for like toward the last one there. So we can tend to get through a dungeon and still have a little bit of time left over to do something else, like little side quests, like hunting monsters. So, yeah, playthrough goes so much quicker when you're able to cut out all the random encounters that you don't need. So, I couldn't do that on the Final Fantasy II because I didn't want to make anyone think that I was doing artificial grinding, so I wanted to show all the combat that I did. So, because a lot of people think that you can cheat in that game and just kind of artificially grind, hit yourself, do the select cancel trick to artificially boost your stats. I didn't want to do that, so I wanted to show that you can, just go through the game normally. So, and that'll make this playthrough much shorter than Final Fantasy II's. So, won't be as short as my next one, Dragon Warrior 1, because that's a really grind-heavy game. Dragon Quest games tend to be more grind-heavy than Final Fantasy games. But finally, we got the monster that we've been looking for, the Helgaroo. So it's like an evil kangaroo. So, if you want to see something cute, look at like kangaroo rescue sanctuaries. They get abandoned joes, which are the baby kangaroos, and they have the instinct to climb into their mother's pouch. But there ain't mother kangaroos around because they've been abandoned for whatever reason. And they put like these pillowcases, hang them on like a fence on a pole, and the baby kangaroos just climb into that. Like satisfies their instinct to be in their mother's pouch. It's so cute because there's one video and there's like a whole row of fences. There's a fence row, and there's about like 5 or 6 little bags hanging on it, and little baby kangaroos sticking out of them. So cute little animals. I got some cute little animals running around the place right now. Rats are out, and Sparkplug is sitting on my lap, getting petted. He's my co-commentator today, right, Spartacus? He's not talking. So, alright, get rid of those Helgaroos, and we are good. So let's head back into Amur here. We're going to heal up, and then we're going to head to the sewers. Last episode, Gil unlocked the sewers, so we can head into them now. Of course, we want to fill our hit points and magic points up. We lost quite a bit of them, especially the magic charges, farming all those enemies there. We gained a level as well. So the sewers over on the eastern part of the village here. This guy just get out of our way. Move. Oh, you gotta go the wrong way. And he went the wrong way again, so we're gonna have to go a little bit out of our way. We're actually go to the south of the weapons store there, armor store. Just head here and just head down this little path here. And the swords is in this U-shaped structure. Luckily we won't run into any cute rats here in the store. We'll run into some pretty evil enemies. Most of the enemies are kind of vanilla. A lot more weak to thunder. But there's one that can be really, really annoying. So there's these twin ligers. The only enemy that is not weak to thunder in this area. No weaknesses other than smacking with swords and arrows and books. Swinging those heavy books. Didn't do really good damage there. Must have missed a few times. Come on, Tangeweenie. Don't let the others show you up. Alright. We'll also be finally getting some weapons for the thief class. We got the armor on that island. Cat Claw in most games is a knife. But in this game it's a claw that is used for the black belt. The monk class that we got from the wind crystal, the monk, they used nunchucks. The black belt is going to use claws. Claws are going to be a really good weapon for Final Fantasy IV. They're like elemental properties. They make Yang, the monk in that game, really, really powerful because you can exploit all these enemy weaknesses. And we just exploited thunder weaknesses of those spiders, the dog legs, and the Gigan toad, which was the toad that accompanied those spiders. So we know those old men who said that they thought they were the heroes, well, they're in trouble here. And they'll be surrounded by a bunch of eye monsters. However, when you fight the eye monsters, they're not eye monsters, they're goblins. Yeah, the first enemies we ran into in the game, in that first like initial cutscene. Now, I think we fought 3 of them, but we were able to take them out as level 1 onion kids. So these guys, they're not very tough. Good thing we were here to rescue them. But they'll be nice and they'll repay the favor for us. Spoilers. They'll be heroes in their own right. Sorry about that, thanks for helping us out of that pinch. We thought we were the warriors from legend, guess not. Thanks. Thanks again, we don't have that youthful energy, we'll rest up here. You're the legendary warriors? We thought we were the warriors. We still got some training to do. Yep, you do. If you're having trouble with 8 goblins. Now you may start getting into trouble on this floor. We got these stroper enemies, and they can hit really, really hard. So I'm going to make sure I try to keep myself topped off hit point wise between battles. There's also, we can get some really good hidden treasure. Down here in this like U-shaped crevice, to the in the lower right corner, lower left corner, if you look very closely, you can see one of those like darker shades blocks on them, and that was we learned that back in Castle Sassoon, that usually is an indication that there's a secret passage there. So there'll be a secret passage. Look at that Strober hit Tangeweenie there and almost took off about like about 3/5 of his hit points, of her hit points. So like I said, that's why we want to keep our characters kind of healed up. So we get a Majolner, Mangosh. Majolner is a hammer for the Viking class. Mangosh is a knife for the thief class. And we get another knife over here. More of those strobe enemies. And the power bracelet. And that's just an accessory that pretty much every class can use that boosts their power. So we'll end up giving that to our ranger then. After we finish this dungeon, which the end is right here. So let's head on in. What do you want from me? Can we borrow the leathergrass shoes? Ha, you kids think you're the 4 legendary warriors? Yeah, right. Whatever, here are the leathergrass shoes. Catch. The old men come in. See them waiting their turn down there in the doorway. Stand back! She throws the shoes and they blow up at our feet. Those shoes are fake. How did you know? Because of our powers. Kidding. We've seen the real ones before. These 4 are the real legendary warriors. Really? I didn't know. My bad. We let them borrow the shoes only for you. Here, take them. So she gives them to the old men, who in turn give them to us. Maybe they have a history with her. I hope they're not the reason she wants to live in the sewers. But now we got the levy grass shoes, and with that we can actually go past that bog. And these old men are going to teleport us out of here, so maybe they do have skills. I mean, casting teleport, that's a 3rd level white magic spell. Maybe they do have some powers. We'll find out in the next episode when we go back in there to talk with them. We'll just make a quick save here and make sure we don't lose this progress. Take care, see you next episode. Bye!